It's hard for me to put into words exactly how much I don't want to do this. You know, there's something about seeing 8 hours of your life condensed into 10 seconds that gets you feeling a bit existential. I mean, like, who am I? What am I doing here? Will this horse ever stop bouncing? Well, if you came to this channel looking for an answer to any of those questions, you're probably out of luck. But if you're here to see massive progress on this city project that I've got going, well, that I can help you with. I started by getting a blank slate, turning the entire ground into a single flat layer of stone, which honestly took so much longer than I thought it would. And then I got to work doing a little bit of outlining. And this is starting to look really good. You would be forgiven for thinking that these are the outlines of streets that I want to have running through the city, but they're actually something a little bit different. Maybe it'll be a bit more obvious if I do this. Or maybe if I filled them up with water? You know, a big part of me is starting to kind of regret that I didn't do anything with the floor or the sides of the canals. It would have been so much easier to put all that mud on the bottom if I had done it before I put the water in. But honestly, between all of the digging and then the replacing all of this with stone, outlining it out, digging the canals, filling the canals with water, I'm a good 12 plus hours of hard work into this episode, and I think I've got like a minute of content. So I think I'm just gonna be happy with what we have. Although from the ground, it certainly doesn't look that impressive. But now that we've finally gotten all of this in, I think it's time I start to tell you a little bit of what I have planned for this episode. You see, I have a habit of not really planning ahead, and I'm not gonna say it's a bad habit because good things do definitely come from it. But when I started over here, I had no idea what I was going to be doing, so I decided to make the tower, and then that was gonna be it. I mean, I wanted to do a little bit of terraforming around the island, which I still haven't really done that much of, but still, that was kind of the extent of my plans. But then, as often happens in Minecraft, I decided that I wanted to build something new, so I built a bridge. And after building the bridge, I needed somewhere for the bridge to go to. And so we built this military district. And I might have gotten a little bit carried away, and also made a bit of a bathhouse down below. I mean, it happens. But of course, we had to keep moving forward, so we moved across this interior harbor and we started working on the marketplace. Still a work in progress to be sure, and there aren't any docks yet, but that's fine. I decided to build a gate instead, and it seems our gate has eyes. I kind of have a feeling who did that, but I'll get to that in a second. And of course, just like with the bridge, once we've got the gate, we've got to have somewhere to go to. So I started working on Main Street, and it's looking great. All the buildings are alive, some of the buildings have eyes, but it's fine. There's a bit of a shulker monster from me doing all of this work over here, but hopefully you guys can forgive me. The point of course is that I don't have anything else planned beyond here until now. As you can see, I'm not much of a planner. I sort of build things piece by piece, and I just kind of hope that it all comes together in the end. And I think in a lot of ways that's a really big strength of mine. It makes my builds feel more cohesive and alive, and sort of like everything is here for a specific reason. The problem is that when I start to get into these really big projects, I can just sort of keep going. I'll start with something that I like and just put it down, and then I'll be like, oh, well, this would look good, and this would look good, and maybe this, and that would look good. And each one of these individual pieces all together, they look good, but a whole bunch of successful small projects aren't a whole. As I keep expanding and expanding, I get little pieces here and there, and everything still looks good. I'm still happy with it, but when you start to look at it as a big picture, it just doesn't all go together. So today, I'm gonna tackle one of my oldest nemesis: planning. And my hope is that by the end of this episode, we'll have a much more clear idea of exactly how the city's gonna look, you know, like way down the line at the end of the season. Oh, the fact that you can't insta-mine diamonds is making me really regret this. A couple minutes of tedious diamond mining later, and we're ready to get started on the roads. And to keep things simple, I brought you over to my creative world where I'm going to try and give you a little bit of a glimpse of how I'm going to make these roads. Now, this isn't going to be a tutorial or anything, and I'm going to try and keep this as brief as I can. But I also think this is interesting enough that, you know, if you're interested enough to be watching a Minecraft video, I think you're going to find this really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to access a tool called Axiom, and this is an absolutely incredible tool for just doing any sort of creative building. I mean, you've got a paint tool that you can activate, so I can set this to any sort of different block, and then I can just start painting. I can undo that, and we can grab like the rock tool, and we can create rocks. There's also an elevation tool where we can just come over here and we can start raising up the ground that's already there. There's just so many incredible things we can do. We can set all sorts of different commands. I mean, Axiom can do just about anything. But for today, the tool that I want to use is called the path tool, and this tool is incredible as well. Essentially, all I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be setting points on here, and every single one of these points is going to be a point that the path needs to go through. So if I hit enter, I can go back into this and you can see we've got just basically lines going from point to point. And while that's already incredibly useful, we can make it even more useful by coming in here and we can change it to a different type of line. And all of these do slightly different things, but the one that I'm going to be using right now is the Catmull-Rom spline. I have no idea what that means. Hey guys, I actually just finished recording that section and I just realized that I can honestly just look up what a Catmull-Rom spline is. But without using any complicated mathematical terms, essentially it's just a curved line that goes through certain points, but the line, say the line going in between these 2 points, is not affected just by these 2 points, it's also affected by the points outside of it. That's why it doesn't go straight through, it kind of curves up and around like this. It's not super crazy important to anything that I'm about to explain. I just think it's kind of cool to get a nice actual explanation for something that we already kind of intuitively understand. But essentially what it does is it just starts to curve the line, so it's still going through these exact same points, but it makes it curved more like an actual path would be. And this is what I'm going to be using for the roads. But again, we can take things a step further. We can raise this up a little bit if we want to make the path, you know, floating in the air. We don't want to make it all at the same level. And since Axiom is all about making things as easy as possible, I can change this to flat, and then we can change the depth and the radius of the path so that we can essentially make this big road just straight right here in the middle of nowhere. And this just makes things so much easier than they would be if I had to individually go through and put every single block down. I mean, in the few seconds that it took me to explain that, I made a curved line, which is already something that's not super easy to do successfully. And then I took that same curve and I added these blocks to the exterior of it just to make it into a wider path. And you end up with a shape that's smooth and really easily customizable. And honestly, there are still a lot of other ways that you can use this, but I'm just going to real quickly show you another thing that we can do with it. So I'm just going to make another path that goes similarly through that, and then I'm just going to scoot this over so that it's at roughly the same level. I'll maybe raise this up a little bit. So now we have 2 paths going right next to each other, but what if I want to build a bridge in between these? Well, one easy way is just to take another block and I can just come over here and use some of Axiom's, you know, fun tools to just, there we go, a makeshift bridge. But honestly, we can do so much better than this. Let me just get rid of this real fast. And now I'm going to go back into Axiom. I'm going to change this to a different block, probably not sand because that wouldn't work well, but let's just change it to grass block for fun. And this time I'm just going to be creating 2 blocks. I'm going to lower the radius a little bit so it looks more like a bridge. And now instead of using this Catmull-Rom spline, I'm going to switch it to a catenary curve. And you see what this does? Let me just make this real fast. And you can see it just makes it into a curve. So we have these 2 points and typically the line will just go straight from one point to the other, but now we've got it curving under and we can do some really cool stuff with this. Let's just get rid of that real fast and let's invert it. So now we've got it, you can already see it already looks like a bridge. And I can lower the inversion slack just a tiny bit, maybe to there, hit enter, and look at that. Well, look at me. We've got ourselves a bridge. I mean, we can take another block and maybe outline the edges of it. And there you go. It's made out of some really interesting block palette choices, and it doesn't have anything underneath it, but this is just a really, really simple way of showing you how powerful this tool is. So I'm going to spend just a little bit of time in the creative world planning out exactly where and how I want the paths to go, and then let's get this episode moving right along and just straight up build it in our world. I really considered using a different material for making the road here, like maybe some blackstone or cobbled deep slate or something like that. But I don't know, the idea of having to place down all of those blocks and then later on when I actually want to get the street completed, I'd have to get rid of all of those blocks and then replace it with this texture that I'm using for all the streets. It would have made it easier to see for the video, but I'm pretty glad I didn't do that. On a similar note, this episode is very, very grindy. I mean, there's a lot of really obvious progress, but it's not necessarily pretty in the same way that I would usually like it to be. Hopefully you guys are still having fun. And speaking of fun, I mentioned these eyes earlier, and like I said, I'm pretty sure I know who put them there. And I think they did it because of some of the fun that I was having earlier. That's insane. How can you go through there?
He's just a little guy. Look at him. He's adorable.
I want to see if he walks through. Can you go?
He's not spazzing out anymore. He's gonna walk back in. Oh no, it's because of this. There he goes.
That is insane that they can walk through this tiny little space. That is insane.
Here you go, buddy. You had fun with that now.
There we go. He's gonna go
the green eyes.
Serve up that Trozo head for all the customers.
Is there supposed to be a second?
How dare you?
I see what happened there.
How dare you?
I think there's a flaw in this design.
There is no flaw in that design. The only flaw is
I see what happened. They walked like this and then it just broke.
No. I think you are the flaw, Trozo.
Oh, you know what? That's fair. Can't believe this.
just take your little buddy and get out of here. Okay.
Look at him.
That's kind of cute. That's kind of cute.
Adorable. Oh, wait. And then we can.
Wait, just a second. No! Don't do that. You gotta.
Well, I'm not going to.
I want to see if
He's
you
gonna leave on that stage.
There we go.
Oh my gosh. It's adorable.
I just need to get a whole bunch of copper golems and just cover the walls. These are my victims.
Now he's gonna be reminded what happens to him when he fails.
Oh yeah, this entire place, all of the shelves on all the buildings are gonna be covered with copper golems by the end of this.
Perfect.
Did you see the ones up there on the balcony? One of them is still alive, and he's just like he's standing on his friend.
Slowly. Should we bring his friend back to life?
No.
Okay.
No, I like.
But he looks so lonely.
I like
to
walk.
Oh! No! He couldn't take it anymore. Purple. No.
Well, you had a good life. You had a good life.
Oh my god.
Time for me to go get some new.
I just witnessed someone die.
I'm gonna go put these guys on the walls, and I'll get some more.
Oh my god.
Good work out there. Oh wait, I gotta separate them. There you go. Good work out there, buddies. Let me grab some more copper real fast. All right, we have 2 new little buddies. You guys are gonna be best friends up here until you die.
Oh gosh. This is tragic.
I can't wait to add them to my wall.
Anyway, do you want to go play a prank on Sam?
You know, sure.
There's creepers everywhere. Where is his bed?
Yeah, you should sleep.
Yeah, hold on. I'm
this place. Yeah, this place is.
Sam, light up your base.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put down a shulker box with pumpkins in it, and I'm gonna place down copper, and you put the pumpkins on top. Wait, does he have copper? I'm gonna try and steal his copper.
Perfect.
Yeah, no copper. You know, all of this copper I had intentionally oxidized so that I could use it for my builds, and now I'm gonna have to do it all over again. But you know what? It's worth
This
it.
sounds like horrible planning on someone's part.
You know what? It's worth it. It's worth it.
It's for the bit.
This isn't gonna be even close to enough. We're gonna have to go around the server and steal a bunch of copper, I think.
I think I might have a few stacks.
I mean, Goat King's supposed to be evil, so it does kind of fit our MO. So
exactly.
we got a free pass to steal. Hey Trozo, watch this.
Oh my gosh.
That's Minecraft carpet bombing. All right, I'm gonna check. I'm checking Mystic's base. Surely he's got some copper in here somewhere.
Aha, here it is.
He's got an entire chest full of axes. And there's just axe's head and like one of every type of axe. Okay.
All of these heads he stole from me.
Mystic has
Bastard.
5 copper. Oh, wait, there's 46 oxidized copper. I'm gonna steal those. All right, I didn't even get a stack from him. That's a shame. Oh, Starkings probably has some.
He does build a lot with copper, but he might have some to spare. He definitely has some to spare for a prank.
He's got a bunch of raw copper. I also have a bunch of raw copper, so we could use my raw copper, but it's more fun to steal. Wow, Starkings has the most unorganized storage system ever. It's just a bunch of chests with random things in them. I can't find anything to tie it together. I'm serious. All of these are in different barrels. It's crazy. Oh, he's got a named copper block. It says 3 to 4 more mini spaceships. Should I take that one too? I'll leave that one. I'm feeling merciful.
It's a good day when Purple's feeling merciful.
Okay, I got like a stack-ish from him. All right, time to go to Trozo's base, I guess. We need a super smelter. Does your ghast have a name?
Not yet. I haven't thought about one.
That's a really weird name. Not yet. I haven't thought of that one. That's a very strange name.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of like it.
Man, I'm wasting so much copper on this. All right, I'm gonna start putting down copper again.
Sam is gonna have a joy cleaning these up.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. I mean, it's a bunch of free copper chests, so he can just make his entire storage system out of copper chests now. Oh, there's a creeper. This is a lot of copper golems, dude. this is a lot.
It's the perfect amount. His circle's so big that I can't even see them at the moment.
Yeah.
They're just unloaded, and then I fly to the middle, and they're just everywhere. I'm lagging. This is great. I'm feeling my frames drop.
Oh shoot! There's a creeper.
Can I turn the simulation distance?
There we go. Yeah, I can't load them all either.
32.
All right. Well, Trozo, I would say that is a job well done.
It's just a...
When planning the city, nothing could be more important than the walls, and up until now I haven't really done any more than I've had to. They take a long time to put up, and I feel like not having them in gives me a little bit more flexibility if I come up with something really awesome that just, you know, has to go there. But I do want to put up a few markers showing the general extent of where the walls will most likely go. A good example of plans changing is right over here in the transition between my base and Trozo's base. Originally, I was gonna make this the big grand entrance to the city, but seeing the adorable bridge he put here, I've been inspired to do something just a little bit different. I think one of the best aspects of being on an SMP is not just the inspiration you get from your neighbors, but also the way the bases are sort of forced to evolve together. So rather than have a massive entrance, I'm just gonna make a smaller gate that should connect up just a little bit more thematically with Trozo's, which which means the big gate is gonna have to go somewhere over here. My original intention wasn't for the city to be quite this big, but plans changed and I definitely want to have a big city square leading to some sort of courthouse or mansion or palace. I haven't really decided what yet, but in order to do that, I'm gonna have to push back the walls a bit more than I planned. Definitely shouldn't have any problems filling up this massive city with buildings before the server ends. And finally, I want to have more than just buildings everywhere, so in this section, I'm planning to make a city slums district to keep it separated from the rest of the city. I also think having a more overgrown area in between the slums and the main city would be really cool. Over by the city center, it'll be more of a park, but as you get a little bit closer to the slums, it'll start to transition into a more overgrown and wild area. I think it's a really cool idea. We still need to have a dockyard, which I think I can squeeze right up against the side of the harbor, and I made this road over here specifically so that goods from this warehouse and potentially some others that we make down the line can get put in wagons and brought out into the rest of the city. Of course, there are going to be lots of side streets and alleyways, and I'd even like to make a bit of a sewer system, but that's probably getting a bit too ambitious. Honestly, it'll be a little fun to look back on this video and see just how much of the final city aligns with the vision that I have for it currently. But I think that's where I'm going to end off for this episode. This episode was definitely a lot more grindy as opposed to build focused like I usually like to do. But with a project this big, there's just no way around it really. That being said, I'm going to make it up to you because next episode is going to be nothing but building. I'm thinking the exterior of this tower has been unfinished for long enough. So look forward to that. There was also one thing I wanted to talk about just a little bit before I end the episode, and I suspect the vast majority of you guys aren't really gonna care that much. But as a YouTuber, a fledgling YouTuber, but a YouTuber nonetheless, I do feel like I have a little bit of a responsibility to keep you guys informed as to like what I'm doing and how I'm making the videos, and just if I ever change any of that. But lately I've been experimenting with using the auto place feature when I use Lightmatica. Essentially it's an extension of Lightmatica where you put down the schematic, and then rather than having to search through your inventory for every item and arrange it in the right way, all you have to do is right click the schematic and it will automatically take that item out of your inventory and put it here, even if that item happened to be up here. I've noticed quite a few other YouTubers that I watch using it, and honestly, it just seemed like it'd make things a lot more convenient. And it really was. It sped up building by quite a bit. But anyway, I just felt like letting you guys know. If there's a huge amount of pushback to it, I don't really have too much of a problem going back, but I do think it'll speed up the process of building this city quite a bit and make it a little bit easier to finish it on time. But that being said, this is where I'm going to end the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. And don't forget to tune into next episode because I am very excited to be working on the tower again.